Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rooted Podcast. As you can see, for those of you watching the video portion, our background has changed a little bit. Ben has come on down to my neck of the woods, so we are in the old garage and making it work and got a nice little backdrop here for y'all. But anyway, we are going to talk about Ben's Montana trip on this episode. He went up there for a week turkey hunting and had some fun adventures. It was his first time in Montana. Yeah, we're just going to dive into that and see what kind of big-time adventures that Ben had in the Big Sky country.
Hey, Montana is one of the most beautiful states I've ever been to, first and foremost. And it gets that Big Sky name for being able to see for 100 miles. Like, you can see forever. I mean, it's unbelievable. The stars are more beautiful. Everything's more beautiful, especially where we were, because there's no light pollution from big cities or anything like that. So,
Nice.
man, it is just absolutely breathtaking. The scenery, the coulees, the mountains, the prairies, the ranges, the cattle, the farming. It's just all totally different than how we do it here. It's beautiful.
So let's go all the way back to when you first step off the plane, and there you are. I mean, is that your first thought? You're just like, whoa, we ain't in Tennessee no more.
My first thought was, boy, I hope my gun shows up.
Oh, boy.
That was my first thought. I thought, man, if that thing don't show up, I'm going to be in a bad way.
Shoot, what did you? Were you having some trouble? Like, was it not showing up? Or
No, it's just one of those fears in the back of my head, that's like, well,
something? Yeah.
if this thing doesn't show up, I'm in a bad spot here, because we're a long way from the airport to come back and retrieve it. Same with my bag, because I had, my vest, my calls, everything, and I even put my little chest pack with my binoculars and all that in my gun box, so that way, I could save some room and it would actually protect the nice stuff from getting crushed.
Yeah.
So that was my first thought was, I sure hope my stuff arrives. Because, you always hear those horror stories of, well, my bags got lost in transit and all that. So that's always in the back of my mind, like, man, I sure hope it all shows up. I pray it does.
And good news, it did, huh?
It did. It showed up. I showed them my ID, and they're like, you good to go, old son? I said, heck yeah, boys.
So how do you fly with the gun? So you got to have the case that you could put a lock through or something.
Basically, you got to have a hard case, and you have to lock it, and then you have to declare your firearm. So as soon as you get to the airport, there's a certain section, at Nashville, B&A anyway,
Yeah.
it says firearms and something else over there.
Gotcha.
So I just walk straight to there, and I declare my firearm. They open the box, they look at it, and give me a card that I have to fill out and sign. They make sure it's not loaded, and they make sure that the ammo is in a separate container. So it can't be just loosely laying in there. It can't be
Gotcha.
in
But it can
the-
be in the box.
Yeah, it can be in the box, but it can't be in the magazine, none of that stuff.
Right.
It has to be completely unloaded. And I went a step further just to make life easier. I put an action lock through there
Right.
just to make it easier. And then I put that trigger guard on there that, by the way, does say remove before pew-pew. It's got a little red tag on there.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, boy,
I like
got to
that.
have
I
that.
like
So,
that.
but it was totally different in Billings. So when I went back to the airport to fly out, I declared my firearm, did all the things, and then they were like, well, you got to stand right here and make sure that it clears TSA before you can go through security and all that stuff. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's different.
Sure.
So, I mean, it cleared, because I didn't have anything in there that I wasn't supposed to or none of that. So I'm surprised my check bag cleared, because I had 3 elk antlers in there.
They're probably used to that in Billings.
Oh, man, they were – I rolled up, and they were like, your bag's overweight. I said, oh, I know.
Yeah.
I am well aware of that. Those elk antlers ain't light. And
Did you cut them?
no,
They just fit right in
I
there?
just put them right in that bag, bo. And I packed all my clothes around them.
Surprised you found a bag big enough to fit in an elk antler.
Well, man, them Filson bags. I got one of them real big ones, and I packed enough. I thought. And one morning I froze my butt off. We'll get to that in a minute, but we'll talk about that later. But man, it was wild though. to have a bag big enough to put those elk antlers in. I mean, they're not, the 350 class, 400 class elk. This is more of a younger bulls that we found, but still.
Hey, still awesome.
An elk antler is an elk antler. I've never found one before. So big shout out to Peyton Lynn and his family, for having us out. And, man, the hospitality was unbelievable. They are some phenomenal people. Like,
Great.
I loved every single second of it. And we'll get into more of the stuff we did, but we didn't just turkey hunt. We did some ranching too.
Oh, nice.
A little bit. Yeah, it was cool, man. It was a lot of fun.
Well, hey, I'm glad that you went and got to see some new country and everything. So I've never been myself, but my wife keeps wanting to go. She went a few years back, and she keeps begging to go back. So we will definitely be heading out there at some point in our lives.
We're going. We're going. Look, I put in for my antelope tag. And if I don't draw that, we're going to go and duck hunt out there.
I love it.
Because when you think about it, where that's positioned, you're right south of Canada, and nobody duck hunts over there.
Is it on a flyway?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
the central?
well, no, it's not the central.
What is it?
I think it's more of the Pacific flyway.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the mountain flyway. I have to go back and look. I hadn't looked at the flyways. I've been so stuck in Mississippi flyway here recently. That's the only one I've been focused on.
Yeah, right.
So, but nonetheless, it's directly south of Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
And, man, when we were riding around looking for turkeys, every daggum pothole was full of ducks, mallards, pintail, widgeon,
Really?
teal, shovelers,
I love that.
everything. So I'm thinking, shoot, well, we'll get us an over-the-counter duck stamp and go out there for a few days and
Why not?
have a great time shooting ducks.
Heck yeah. So, all right, let's dive into the turkey stuff.
Oh, boy.
So you get there first. I mean, what do you even expect? Because you've never hunted Merriam's, never been to Montana. Like, just from listening to Peyton and some others, like, what are you kind of expecting, or is your mind you're just open and whatever happens, happens? It's day one.
Well, I was kind of in the wrong mindset because I was thinking, man, these things are walking the park. They're easy, because
That's
I'm
all you
used
ever
to,
really hear.
yeah, I'm used to hunting Easterns, so they can flip a switch and be very hard to kill at any point in time.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, this is going to be easy, man. Lights out, knocked out, done first day, go fly fishing the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not how it happened. There's still turkeys.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get it down to the brass tacks. They're still turkeys, and they're still going to do what they want to do because they're wild animals. So, man, that first morning it was raining, and I thought, oh, man, they ain't going to be gobbling worth a flip. And we started
with good rain pouring, or
it was pretty heavy at times.
Was it?
I mean, not like a flood or nothing, but it was still a steady rain.
Yeah.
And we started walking, calling, nothing. And I thought, man, these things are starting to disappoint me a little bit. I thought they gobbled at everything.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm thinking, well, the rain has a lot to do with that. And until we got about 40 yards from one. And I let that call ring. I mean, I hammered down because I wanted everything in the valley to hear me. And that thing gobbled. But their gobble is totally different from an Eastern.
I've heard that.
It
not
is.
as powerful.
And it's just shorter. It's not like that full-blown pow. It's more like a pow.
Oh.
It's kind of weird. It's just – and the jakes are even worse than that.
Yeah, sure.
The jakes are worse than our jakes. I mean, they can't gobble to save their lives. They sound like a couple banny roosters out there crowing in the morning.
They're giving her all she's got.
I'm telling you, giving you all she got. Now, one thing I'll say about Montana is it's illegal to shoot a jake. So you have to be very sure that it's a longbeard before you pull that trigger.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, so I'm glad I looked it up. I was like, man, I better look this up just to be sure.
Yeah.
Because the way it worked after that one gobbled, they were coming up to the edge. So you got to think about this. These are mountains we're in, right? We're not in open fields, really. So, I mean, there's a few open fields, and they're just little pastures, but they're not like a normal pasture like here.
Right.
It's totally different. And the way these birds were coming up those particular days, we couldn't tell what was what because they were just two little red heads, and I mean, you can't tell one redhead from another on the jake or a long beard.
You couldn't see
No, you couldn't see nothing. You just saw right at the base of the wattle and up, and that's it.
Okay.
That's all you could see. So, telling myself, I'm like, man, I ain't shooting a Jake. I didn't come this far to shoot a daggum Jake. I'm not doing that. And then I was sitting there in a little dead time, and I was like, I'm going to look this up and make sure, before I mess up. And I looked it up, and I was like, well, I'm glad I decided I did not want to kill a Jake, because that could have been real bad for me.
Jeez.
So
yeah, I'm not mad at that law, though.
No, I love it, man. I think it's great. And, they're tough birds to kill for me, in my experience. Now, granted, I was also there at the last part of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, we're late May, so it's not really the best odds. They're winding down. Hens are already gone to nest. It's really not great.
Yeah.
As far as the turkeys. Now, there's plenty of them there. The hunting's fantastic. The people are fantastic. The land is wonderful. Everything is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the birds were done.
Yeah.
Or starting to be done. They were winding down. And the crazy thing is how we do it here is later in the season we just purr and cluck a little bit, and it tends to work pretty well.
Yeah.
Up there, no. Dude, I would sit there and cluck and purr with nothing. And I'd get on that yelp and cut or cluck real loud. Pow!
Man.
I was like, what?
So they like to be hollered at.
I guess. And
sounds like
so that back to that first morning, that bird was with the only lone hen that was left.
Wow.
And they went off, and I could have killed him if I would have seen him. I was set up in the wrong position. Peyton saw him, and he was going across at like 35 yards, but I could only see the tip of his tail fan going across. But if I'd have been sitting where Peyton was, I could have smashed him. But then there's the whole, well, he's a sopping wet turkey, not great for film and videos. So, I guess we have to break out the blow dryer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have been all right.
Well, man, I just think so much. I mean, I'd have shot him too if I'd have had the chance. But I'm just saying, man, being a creative, I think about those things. I'm constantly like, well, what is this going to look like in the film? How's it going to be framed? Because, we want to put out the best products that we can and the best videos that we can. And sometimes, man, it's just almost impossible to get everything to line up the way it's supposed to. So, long story short, that first day, man, we chased these birds. It finally quit raining. Gobble, 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 gobble their little heads off at everything. And all we could do was just see the heads. I mean, 3 times. There were 2 heads poking up right over the edge of this ridge, and that's all I could see. But I could not tell which was which. And I know one of them was a Jake every single time because of the gobble difference.
Yeah.
But when they got up that close, they weren't gobbling anymore, so I couldn't tell who was who. So it's like, well, that's a real bummer, So it's a different world, man. It is a totally different world when it comes to turkey hunting for me, because I went in there thinking, this is easy. I'll just do some soft calling, seal the deal, done, over with. Yeah, not the case.
Definitely sounds like a whole nother world over there.
Oh, it is. It is wild.
So you had pretty bad weather the whole time?
Well, it was weird, man. The weather was so weird. Like, it would rain and be freezing cold, and then it would warm up to 75 degrees the next day. So it was just back and forth, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, rain, hot,
snow
cold.
On you?
No, it never snowed, but, it was just such a difference.
Gotcha.
Every day it was a new day. New weather, new everything. And, I really think that played into the gobbling too later in the week, because it was just such a dramatic swing from one day to the next.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So on the first day you have a couple birds, you can't tell what they are. Is that kind of the theme throughout the week?
No, that's definitely not the theme throughout the week. So that first afternoon we go back out, and I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna slip up on one of my boys, Yeah. That's lonely. Well, we didn't see a turkey, but we did see a whole herd of bull elk. And now that was unbelievable. Those animals are a whole lot bigger in person.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I still have never seen one in the flesh.
Man, there was
Hoof.
one in that group that they were saying would easily go 350 plus inches this year. He was a hammer, and you could tell because all the other bulls in there, they were a tenth of where he was.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if I ever get a chance to shoot an elk on my first one, the spike better not walk by me. I ain't waiting for no 350. But eventually I will.
Well, I'm not going to bow hunt it. I'm going to draw for a rifle tag, and I'm going to take that rifle so I can, reach out there a little bit, tattoo that honey at 400 yards if I got to.
I'd love to shoot the big one, but I'll shoot one of them other 4x4s or 5x5s. Just
yeah. Now, I did put in for my antelope tag.
Yeah.
So, man, you see those speed goats everywhere.
Really?
And, boy, they're fast.
Oh, yeah.
They're so fast. I'm pretty sure that they're the fastest land mammal in the Americas or in North America. Fastest land mammal. I'm not sure their top speed. I think it's somewhere around 60, 65, maybe 70, something like that. But that is their top speed. And an interesting thing about those animals is they don't really fight like whitetail, mule deer, and elk do. They race. The fastest male wins. Now, they'll push each other around. And now I'm not talking about this from experience. I'm talking about this from what I learned while I was there.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've never hunted them before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I just thought that was interesting that they race instead of like actually hardcore fighting like the whitetail elk or mule deer will do.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, man. And surprisingly, they've got some absolute hammers of whitetail there. I mean, some monsters.
Well, we go kill some of them too.
Hey, next year, buddy, I'm putting in for the elk and the deer tag.
Heck yeah.
I'm going to put in for the draw and for another speed goat if I don't get drawn this year. But one cool thing about it is they have this like bonus point program that you can pay like $20 and get an extra preference point for your first time, I think.
Okay.
And obviously I don't know if that's all the time because I've only done it once.
Yeah.
And so I got to do that, and hopefully I'll get to draw my antelope tag, and we'll just head on over there this fall, shoot ducks, antelope, and their black bears over the counter. So turkey, ducks, black bear over the counter, but you do have to take a bear identification test.
Okay.
To determine a black bear from a grizzly bear.
Gotcha.
So, which I feel like that'd be pretty easy. I mean,
yeah, you would think.
A grizzly bear is a pretty big animal,
Yeah,
but
hey, stranger things, I'm sure.
you never know, man. You just never know. So, it's just so diverse and so beautiful out there that it was just fantastic. So back to
filming those elk.
Oh yeah, we're filming those elk, man, and I was good. Like I was so tickled at that point. I thought I don't need to do anything else today.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm filming elk, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
That is awesome.
I don't need to film anything else today. It's great.
Heck yeah.
This is the best thing ever. And I was like, man, I'm good. Like I'm good. We got tomorrow. To go chase a turkey. I am good to go. I don't need anything else. So, man, the first day was just epic.
Yeah. Heck, it sure sounds like it. I mean, you get all these seeing new critters and learning and, and also learning the new country and the terrain and kind of how the turkeys are acting. You kind of feel, just feeling it out and seeing how the other days are going to go. So, I mean, did you end up roosting any, or did you know where you were going the second day?
Man, they were just real quiet on the roost. And, I've never had a whole lot of luck roosting turkeys anyway. Mm-hmm. So the game plan for the next morning was to go back where we saw them the day before. I mean, obviously, we knew they were somewhere in the vicinity.
Yeah.
So, but this was one of those weird swing days. So I'm thinking, maybe it'll fire them up. I don't know. I just don't know.
One way to find out.
One way to find out, and sure enough, they were gobbling their little heads off. And, man, we walked and called, and then all of a sudden, it was like a turkey every 100 yards.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Like one would start gobbling, then you'd hear them on down gobbling. And, boy, we sat there and looked over the edge of this ridge here, and sure enough, a good one. And, of course, he had a Jake with him. I thought, good night of living. Well, let's see if we can get him up to where I can at least see.
Yeah.
you know, what's what and make the right call on that. And, you know, they come up and once again, all you can see is their heads.
Yeah.
Gobbling like crazy, but they were gobbling simultaneously, so I couldn't tell which was which. You know, it's not like one gobbled and then the other gobbled standing next to each other. They were gobbling at the same time. So I couldn't tell what bird was what, you know, as far as the Jake Longbeard situation goes. And, buddy, their Jakes out there are just as big of a head as that Longbeard. They got big old noggins on them.
Really?
Yes, they do. Big old logger-headed noggins. And, man, it was cool, though, because I sat there and I just watched this bird scream his head off for 30 minutes. But, man, he would not step out from behind that bush. He would not do it. He just stick that neck out, see that neck come out, pow, and, you know, simultaneously there. So it's like, well, who's who?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can't tell. So I'm not going to shoot him. So they left and we went on down, and sure enough, same thing again. Gobbling their heads off, but would not finish to save our lives.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I honestly think that they knew that the season was over and there's no hens left, and they were just gobbling because that's what they do.
Yeah, right.
And, you know, I wonder too, like, if it would have been better to have a hen decoy later in the season like that so they could actually have a visual, you know, and the hide's totally different up there too. Totally different. Like, you know, here we got plenty of brush everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we just plop down on a tree, we're good. Well, you plop down on a tree up there in that ponderosa pine, and it's just wide open. It's like our Texas trip.
Yeah.
When we sit down on them mesquite trees.
Yeah.
Wide open, buddy.
Well, you know, at least the birds in Texas, they didn't seem to care. I wonder if the ones in Montana, the same thing. They're just used to wide open spaces.
Yeah, you know, I think they are. And, you know, one of the things that I wondered too is, you know, they just knew that it was done.
Yeah.
They knew that all the hens were bred, that they were all gone to the nest, and like I said, they were just gobbling.
There's some big old Tennessee boy hollering at us.
Yeah, there's no redneck screaming at us over here. Let's go see what that's about. You know, they'd look and gobble, but they wouldn't ever finish the deal. I mean, literally, if those three different groups of birds would have taken 4 steps, I would have been able to tell what was what. I could have killed one. Didn't happen. That was like that all day. And then that afternoon, you know, didn't hear nothing, dead quiet, no gobbles, just done. So, yeah, that's how the second day went. Third day, I got up late because, you know, obviously time difference, and we had walked at this point, dude, I'll just say this, we walked 53 miles in that week.
Yeah. At
4,000 foot elevation. Our biggest elevation here is 800 on the farm.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. I was actually proud of myself. I wasn't too bad out of shape.
Yeah.
So I was actually able to do it very well. But good grief, man. My feet were so tired.
Oh, I'm sure.
And my body was so tired after walking that much those first 2 days.
Different breathing, too.
Man, I missed my alarm. I did. I woke up at 6:30.
Oops.
Bright, sunny day out there. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. You know, it's going to be awesome. We get out there, not much for gobbling, except for when we first got out there, we parked and, you know, get out and start walking. And sure enough, I decided to gobble and look over, and there they are, 30 yards. Sick. Awesome. They saw us and are still gobbling.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, you got that camera ready? He's like, no. And my gun's across my body. So, you know, it's going to take an act of Congress, you know, to get everything situated and ready to shoot. And by the time we even talked about it for 10 seconds, they were in the woods. But they were still gobbling. I was like, now this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you do that to an Eastern, he's in the next county.
Yeah, bye.
See you later. See you in 2 weeks, you know. But so we had that encounter, kept walking. And finally we got to the spot where we found a ton of turkey tracks and just decided to sit down and call a little bit, you know, and just see what would come up.
Sure.
And sure enough, 10 minutes later, pow, behind us. And I thought, here we go. it's on. So I started playing a little chess game with him. You know, I'd let him gobble 2 or 3 times before I called again.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I'm going to make this dude, I'm going to make him finish, dadgummit.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to make him finish. And he was by himself. So I thought, okay, we got a good chance on this one.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen him. I know what he is. He's a great bird. You know, we just got to get him to finish. Sure enough, he's standing out there in the middle of one of them fields, and I'm thinking, boy, if you just hit that road right there, the end of that road to that field is 40 yards. Done.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll you. I was ready. Had the gun propped up and everything. Ready to go. Of course not. Mm-hmm. He swings around, goes all the way around the edge of the field.
Bummer.
Stays in the timber, and I had ranged the end of the little path that was to my left there, 75 yards. And I thought, okay, if he gets inside of that to the next row, that's 40. Yeah. So that's my 2 distances there, and I'm thinking, all right, you know, I've got a great chance on this. If he does loop that and hits that gap, you know, we can get him to 40 and then boom, roll smash. You know, I would have probably taken a shot at 60. Because I do know that gun is good at 60, but 75, man, that's just a little. I just don't want to shoot that.
That's a long way to shoot,
man. And the thing is, for me, if I'm going to do it, I want to finish the bird. I want the bird to finish. You know, I want to shoot him at 40 yards, 30 yards, 20 yards. You know, I don't want to just throw a Hail Mary out there just for the heck of killing and marry him. You know, I like to work them and finish them. That's the whole point for me. That's the game for me.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he gets into the thick stuff, and thinking back, I should have tore off crawling right then. When he got in that real thick stuff, I should have belly crawled across the road and got set down and just waiting on him to pop out.
Yeah,
that's what I should have done. But you know, hindsight's 20/20.
Well, yeah.
And you know, I was also thinking, okay, the last 2 days these birds have just been popping their heads up, and that's all you can see. So I'm gonna make this happen.
Yeah,
you know, whether I've got to crawl or what. I have already made up my mind that I am going to do whatever I can legally and ethically to take care of one of these Merriams.
Heard that.
But I didn't, because I thought, oh, man, he's coming. Like, he's come a long way at this point. He's already gone 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So
what's another 20?
Yeah, what's another 20? I mean, we got him in the bag. I was like, we're just going to sit right here, sit tight, don't move, you know, because like we've mentioned before, being patient pays off.
Yeah.
It always does. So – man, the more he got closer and closer and closer, I'm kicking myself thinking, boy, you should have took off crawling. You should have went to that bird because he hung up at 75 yards.
Oh, boy.
He sat there and gobbled and did a circle and strutted and spit and drummed, did everything possible, but he would not come any closer.
That sucks.
Dude. I even tried to fight and purr, and he gobbled at it.
He just not enough to come in and check it out, though.
Yeah, and would not finish for nothing.
Dang.
Wouldn't do it. So he peels off and comes around, and I'm like, well, I'm crawling. Here I go.
Yeah,
I said, Peyton, do you see him? He was like, yeah, man, he's going up into that timber right there. I was like, all right, I'm going to crawl and try to cut him off.
Yeah.
Of course, he's at 90 now from where I crawled to. So rightfully, I didn't get a shot.
Yeah.
You know, and he's walking away, and we're sitting there pondering on decisions made, and I'm like, dang it, man. These birds are sure whipping my tail right now. You know?
Yeah, and you're seeing them at least and having some sort of opportunity.
Dude, we were having all kind of opportunities if we could just tell which was which. I could have killed on the first day if I'd have known which one was which. You know, I mean, or if I'd have been set just a little bit to the right, I could have killed that bird, you know, as soon as he stepped in the middle of the road, because he was sure enough longbeard, full fan, strutting, everything. But they would not leave that hen for nothing. And she was probably the last one.
Yeah, last of the Mohican.
Yeah, the last of the hennies that hadn't been breeded yet. So, man, we decided to just sit there for a little bit, see what happens. You know, I thought, well, maybe he'll loop around and come back.
Yeah.
Because we've had that happen before.
Sure.
No, he didn't. But there's one hammering, like, down this coulee. I mean, hammering. I said, boy, I'm going to get him. Yeah. And I took off. I just left. Left my vest there, and I went quickly. I'd stop every now and then it got to the point to where that bird was gobbling so much that I knew that he wasn't going anywhere. Because I hadn't called to him at this point, because I knew that he wasn't going anywhere. He was in one of them strut zones. You know, he was looking for a hen. He was fired up, and I'm thinking, okay, if I can get within 100 yards of this bird, I think I can pull him to me, at least enough to get a shot.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
So here I go belly crawling through this coulee. I mean, belly crawling, buddy, and it's just pine cones everywhere. So it's like belly crawling on pine cones. I mean, I belly crawled for 500 yards. Finally got around to where he was on the next little ridge over, I guess what you'd call it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, all right, I'm sitting here listening to him gobble. I'm trying to go through everything in my mind of, you know, what do I do? How do I, you know, make this work? How do I, you know, do this right?
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what? If he gobbles 2 more times, I'm going to take off crawling. Because I knew where he was, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, I pinpointed him and knew exactly where that bird was. So I took off crawling, and there was a little spot of this brush there. And I realized that he was on the other side of that brush, but it was tall enough that I could crawl up to it. And even if it was in the open, he would never see me.
Okay.
So I crawl up there to it, I get ready, and I'm looking around, fumbling around, and I can't find my mouth call. I thought, gosh,
oh boy,
darn it.
Put yourself between a rock and a hard place.
Man, I did, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was so focused on that bird
Just getting there.
that I didn't think 1 second about having a call in my hand.
Oh, brother.
So, because I had stripped off my chest pack, everything.
Yeah,
All I had was my
crawl.
gun. And
Well, that's tough.
I get up there, and, you know, all I thought was, well, I guess I'll just give it a mouth call, you know. And granted, my mouth is like a cotton swab in there.
Really?
Yeah, dry as a bone, you know, just dry. So I was like, well, I'm going to see if I can't muster up something, you know.
Yeah, why not?
So I'm trying to sit there and, you know, like get my goozle right, and, you know, it just wasn't happening. So I was like, all right, whatever. We're going to send it full blast, baby. Full blast. Here we go.
Why not?
So I just did a little I was like, oh.
Like, hey, all right.
All right, we got him. And then I didn't call again.
Nice.
And so here he comes. And I see them white tips coming. And I'm like, oh,
That's gotta
dude,
be
he's a
awesome.
huge bird.
What a cool thing to see.
And, man, I was ready. I had everything lined up. I was ready to go. You know, slam dunk, home run.
Right.
Ready to hammer down.
Someone start the oil.
Yeah, someone start the oil, baby. We'd turkey nugget in tonight. And he hung up for a second, and I did the little yelp again. And I was like, here he comes.
All right.
Dude, he dropped strut and then walked right to the other ridge, like right next to me. I mean, when I say other ridge, it's 20 yards across.
Okay.
So I put the bead on his head, pulled the trigger, bird flies away.
Boy.
I was like, you have got to be
You talk
kidding
about your
me.
heart just sinking to the floor.
I was mad.
Oh, yeah.
I was mad, buddy. I was mad at myself.
Yeah.
I thought, how did you miss this bird, man? The only thing I can think is that he moved his head, because thinking back on it, he was, you know, looking. Like he was moving his head around looking, and I didn't take that into account. You know, I just put it on his head and pulled the trigger. But, you know, that's just one of those things. You get excited because you've never killed one before. You rush your shot, and then swing and a miss, baby. I did, boy. I missed my only opportunity to kill Merriam.
Gosh
I
dang.
missed him at 20 yards. Sure did.
Well,
boy, I was mad, John.
Oh, I can only imagine.
I was mad.
There goes the gun slinging.
I come out of there, it's like, I quit turkey hunting. I'm done. I ain't
hate
ever
this crap.
turkey hunting again. I'm done. I hate it. I hate turkeys. I hate all of them. I'm going home.
Full blown meltdown. as
Oh,
they say.
dude, I had a toddler temper tantrum is what I had.
I love it.
I did, man. I got upset, and then I was, 20 minutes later, I was like, all right, I'm good. Let's go try kill another
Exactly.
one.
Just had to, vent out a little bit there.
Yeah, I had to,
It happens.
wallow in self-loathing for a little while there, and
I hear you, buddy.
beat myself down because, man,
But dude, I get it, man. When everything finally comes together, it's what is this, day 3 or 4?
it's day 3.
Yeah. and you got all those other chances and all these things and the weather and you're getting rained on and and then it finally comes together, and then just like that,
over.
and you're like, I'm about to burn down this mountain sign.
Yeah, I'm pretty much mad. I wanted to. If I could light a fire on my fingers, buddy, I would have.
Dude, I hear you, man. And then you start overthinking everything.
Yep,
was it me? Was it the gun? What did I do? What could I have done differently? Yada, yada, yada.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sure you didn't sleep too good that night.
Oh, I did not at all. I was so upset. I mean, I was over it. You know what? I'm glad I clean missed and didn't wound him.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm more happy about, was that I didn't wound the bird. So
I mean, to me, it sounds like it was just so close. And, whenever you have a great gun and a great choke, it can almost hurt you kind of when it's too close because you're shooting a golf ball.
Yeah, and, man, turkeys move, dude.
Real quick, in a hurry.
Like, how Easterns come in, and they're not, like, constantly, moving that head side to side. So that bird was trying to see through that brush, see where that hen was. So he was bobbing his head back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I guess when I pulled that trigger, he bobbed the opposite way.
Yeah,
and it just sailed right past him. And I was like, well, all right.
Well, good.
Well, good.
This is crazy.
There's that. There we are. Well, good.
Well, good.
Yeah, man, I had a, sure enough, little 2-year-old temper tantrum on that one.
Buddy, I'd have been right there with you, slinging and kicking and screaming and
oh yeah, that was me. I was on the ground kicking my legs like straight out of a textbook of a child. I
love it.
I did, and then the next morning, that was the end of that day. I was just kind of done with it.
You're like, all right,
time to
go
go
home.
Yeah, I was kind of over it at that point. I was in my head pretty good, and I'm thinking, this ain't good. I don't need to, be out here trying to kill a turkey in this kind of headspace, because it ain't good. I'm going to second guess myself, and I'm going to miss one or wound one, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we went on back and, ate some lunch, and I took a nap.
There you go.
I slept for like 4 hours.
I love it.
It was great. It was great, man. And went back out the next morning, and sure enough, here we go again. 2 birds hammering. I'm like, yes, it's about to happen.
Like, please let me redeem myself.
Yeah, I've got redemption ready to go here. And sure enough, get to 70 yards, and they stop. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, what the heck, guys?
And there's like this tall ridge right there in front of us, and then, the field. Well, they go up on the tall ridge, and they looking. I was like, boy, these dudes are smarter than people give them credit for.
Yeah, man, because, like, at the turkey show, all you ever hear about is how Merriams are not that. I've never heard someone say, like, they're just dumb, but I have heard, like, yeah, they're way easier to kill.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've ever heard.
Well, yeah, same. And, I think they probably are when they're hot.
Well, I was about to say early season.
Yeah.
It might be the case.
If I was there 2 weeks earlier, I think it'd have been a done deal.
So next spring, we just need to go there. Maybe
we're going there the end of April next
April.
spring.
Yeah.
That's when we're going next year's the end of April, and so these birds, man, they're up on top of this hill just gobbling their little honeys off, and I said, you know what? I'm mad at them now. I'm real mad at them, so I'm gonna hit this fighting purr and see what happens.
Yeah.
Sure enough, here they come.
Okay, great.
And they stop at 70 again.
Oh,
I was like, oh.
It's like Groundhog Day, dude.
And then, I'm like, well, I'm just going to be quiet for a little while and see what happens.
Yeah, why not? Try something up.
Yeah. And then I called. They're 500 yards away. I was like, jeez Louise, man. What are the odds of this?
What's Peyton saying this whole time? Like, man,
he's like, man, this is not normal. He's like, they're usually, like, pretty fired up, and they'll work pretty good, but it's the end of season. They're pretty much done, and they're looking to make sure that there's a hen there. And the way they were in that field to start with, we were set to where they had to come around the corner to see us. When they came around that corner of the woodhead, 30 yards. They didn't do that. They did not do that. They went up and around.
Surely I'm sure they do. They make a Merriam decoy. with
Man,
the
I
white
think
tips.
if you'd put any decoy out there, it'd work.
Yeah, that was my next question. I wonder if it even mattered. Like, would they know to look at the turkey body and be like, "Oh, that one doesn't match me"?
Yeah, I think
don't know.
I
Maybe
think
they
they
would.
see a female down there and they're like, "Oh, what's up, little mommy?"
Yeah, they don't really get too fired up either way, do they?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know, but
Yeah.
by golly, I'm shipping a turkey, hen decoy, and a Jake next year. I guarantee you that. I'm gonna put that baby in the box and send it on before we go.
Hey, full send it.
We are gonna full send it, and we're gonna hammer down.
I love it.
You know, I will say
I'm
I'm
excited.
gonna take 1 second right here and give a plug for Payton. So Payton owns Chain Buttes Boots.
Chain Buttes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, they are a barefoot style hunting boot
Okay.
that is unbelievable. So I walked in those things
Like
for,
really lightweight. Is that
yeah,
what you mean?
super lightweight. It feels like you don't have anything on as far as shoes.
Nice.
And, you know, so usually wearing heavier hunting boots during the season,
Mhm.
man, my knees and my hips will kill me
Yeah.
after walking for days.
Sure.
They will be so sore and hot, like
Checks
on
out.
fire. I put these on and walked 53 miles,
Ooh,
and I did not have any aches or pains in my knees or my hips.
great.
It was unbelievable. Game changer for me.
Wow.
And I'm a firm believer in them, and he is a good Christian man.
Yeah.
His family is good Christian people, and they have made a quality product that'll last. I mean, if you walk that much in a week's time,
Yeah.
you can tell pretty quick if a boot's going to be good or not, and that one is sure enough legit.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, man, I loved it. The only thing that, you know, they're trying to figure out is the waterproofing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely water resistant,
Mm-hmm.
but my feet did end up getting wet after that first day, you know, in the pouring rain.
Sure.
So, but
Yeah, they got to tweak that a little bit.
you know, they're not advertising it as 100% waterproof.
Well, no.
So they're just saying water resistant, and it is absolutely water resistant.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I have to say, man, for these turkey hunters out there, deer hunters, that's the boot of choice
Yeah.
because it goes on easy. It has the wind-up lace system in there, and it's easy to maneuver, easy to put on. It's real quiet, real lightweight.
And they fold up. I know you were showing me that.
Yeah, man, they fold up. You can put them in a pack real easy.
It's crazy. They, like you can literally roll them
Yeah,
and like
you can roll
and
them
then
up.
stuff them in something, and then
Yep.
they pop right back out in the
Yep,
form.
right back to form and shape. And they're a Montana company, and man, I'm just telling you, they are well made.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try mine out. Shout out to him. He was very nice enough to send me a pair, so
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. Try to get my wide foot up in there. I'm sure I can.
Oh, I'm sure you can too, man. But you know, aside from the hunting, one of the cool things that we did is I did end up finding 2 elk sheds while I was out there.
That's
and,
so cool,
And
dude.
you better believe them babies come back to
Heck yeah,
Tennessee with
slipped
me,
them in
boy.
that big old Filson bag you was
Heck
talking
yeah,
about.
we slipped them in that bag and brought them on back. And
I like that.
there was one afternoon, his dad was like, "Hey, I need y'all to help me." I was like, "Heck yeah,
Yeah, sweet. Let's
do
do
some
it.
ranching stuff."
Sounds
his
like some
dad,
cool
dude,
American Western
His
things.
dad, TJ, is awesome.
Yeah.
He's an awesome man. I loved every second being around them. So we get out there and we gonna brand some bulls. I was
Brand?
like, brand them.
All right,
like
cool. Yeah,
brand
yeah.
them. Sure enough. So he sends me and Peyton in there to bring them to him. You know, a couple at a time, and that was fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the heck out of that.
How about
So we went from walking in the mountains with these boots on to working cattle with these boots on.
pretty cool.
I mean, dude, it was awesome. It was a cool experience because they still use, you know, the old school kind of brands, the metal brands that aren't electric and all that stuff. So you got to heat them up with a fire.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't build a fire right there beside, you know, the thing, but they still use fire. It's
Pretty
just,
cool.
it's just super cool, man. It was something, you know, that I hadn't seen.
Same kind of cows that you would see here? Did
Yeah,
there other
yeah,
different
yeah,
cows?
yeah.
I'm not sure.
There's same stuff you see here, but, you know, I hadn't branded a cow since high school.
I've never branded
That was in 2007 when I branded a cow.
Interesting.
But I'll tell you this, that smell was a fond memory. I was like, oh, buddy, I know that smell.
Wow.
I loved it. Loved every second of it.
That's got to be interesting to see. I've never done that. I've round up some cattle for some guys, you know, locally here,
Yeah.
but just to like move them fields, not to like do anything. We just, I'm sure there's a science behind it, but they rotate fields. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So that's, a pasture rotation plan pretty much so they're grazing different pastures
I got you.
throughout the year, so that way it lets the grass grow back up and get like it needs to be before they just mow it down to nothing.
I got you. Yeah, I was just a high schooler that got permission to fish.
Heck,
Had to help, going. I'm like, sweet, hey, this for fishing. And when you're 16, you're like, this is the best deal ever.
Best deal that ever happened.
Go catch a bass and a catfish, and
Shoot,
all I gotta
yeah.
do is join a bunch of group of people and hey.
That's
and
exactly
move on over
right.
there. You're like,
I love it.
all right, cool.
Yeah, heck yeah, Rebel Yell, man, let her rip, But dude, it was one of the coolest things I've done in a long time. Just seeing the scenery, seeing the people, learning the people, and the whole thing, all of it, the whole experience was unbelievable.
So, are you near a town at all during this thing?
Kinda. I guess it would be considered a town. But the only thing there is a mercantile and a bar that serves food.
Really?
That's it. No stoplight, no nothing. Just
that's
a
pretty cool.
couple stop signs, and that's it.
And you just stayed at their house?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah. It was pretty sweet, man.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was awesome. The truck we rode around in had 700,000 miles on it.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm
old
talking
ranch truck, man. It was one of them old Duramaxes, dude, and that thing was awesome. And Peyton had to open the door for me every time because it only opened from the inside. I was like, heck yes, this is great.
Oh, dude.
I love it.
That's
love
hilarious.
it. I mean, it was awesome.
Vehicles like that have a story.
Yes.
And they're not brand new, just plastic that they make now. Because I'm sure that thing was heavy duty.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to take a thing from a cow or whatever.
Big old brush guard on it.
Yeah,
full bumper replacement, flatbed, the whole works, man. It was great.
That's what I'm talking about.
I enjoyed every second of riding that truck.
That dude, if you just got to tell you like, let's just say 5 years ago, like one day you're gonna ride around in a 700,000-mile truck in Montana. That alone, really like worth the trip.
Yeah, because that truck, if that thing could talk, buddy, it could tell you some show enough stories.
So, I mean, you're getting to do that. You see elk for the first time. You find elk sheds. How cool
is
that?
Mule deer.
And the turkeys are gobbling and,
antelope, all of it. It's
cool.
Sometimes, man, the good Lord has a way of humbling you.
Yeah,
and, buddy, he sure enough humbled me on that trip. But it was still just so awesome to stand there and look at a different perspective of his creation. It's breathtaking. To go from Tennessee, where we got a bunch of hardwoods, to go out there and it's these ponderosa pines.
It's just different.
Totally different, man.
I love that.
I mean, it is unbelievable how beautiful it is. And then you see the mountains, obviously, and they still got snow on the top of them.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
It's just mind-blowing when you take it all in, seeing what we see here and there. You're like, man, our God made this.
Yeah, and what else is cool is it's all in the same country.
Yeah.
Like, and I know as Americans we can be like, well, yeah, it's in this. Like, what is he talking about, dude? People don't really. If you've never been out of this country, to go across the pond, go to Europe, go to some other places, dude. He's like, in Europe, man. In the time it takes you to drive across Texas, you can be in like 8 different countries.
Exactly.
And it's like you gotta really appreciate America that way too. Of like, dude, this is still America, and it's so vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's really cool.
It is, man. It is the coolest thing ever, and I had several moments where I was like, wow, our God made this, and my mind's just blown because I'm like, man, my mind can't even compute what's going on right now.
No, yeah, because you're trying to wrap your head around it, and
I can imagine. Like, it's just like, the old dial-up internet trying to connect.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, goodness, how awesome will heaven be one day?
Dude, I know. I always think about, like, when I see something just incredible, I'm like, look, you think whatever you want to think, but if you think 2 things just collided together and created this...
You were sad.
I got a bad feeling you wrong on that one, buddy.
I still love you, but you're wrong. And,
there's just no way
there's no way.
There's a creator out there.
There's no way that we are made the way we are and things are made the way they are, perfectly balanced,
Yeah.
mind you. Everything works in unison.
It's got a purpose and everything.
Everything has a purpose. And you can't tell me
Mm-hmm.
that there is no God,
I'm
because
right there
there
with
is.
you. Yeah.
There is one God and one God only, and the only way to get to heaven is through Jesus Christ. Period.
It's a fact.
You know, Muhammad's dead, Buddha's dead, all these other people are dead. They never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and he is sitting at the right hand of the Father, and he is our connection to him.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to have the temple and the priest, that separates everything. We have a direct line of conversation and communication with him
I love it.
directly. So that's what the Holy Spirit's for.
And he gave you Montana. Go check it out.
Yeah, man, he gave you a lot of things.
Heck
You know,
yeah.
if you take 10 seconds out in the woods,
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I mean, if you look at a little baby
Oh, yeah, dude.
and you think about it, it's like,
Dude, if you have ever been
Wow.
in that room where a child is born
yes,
and you can really sit there with a straight face and tell me that there's no creator, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
I don't either.
I mean, I like if you have ever been in that room and you see that, you're like, that's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
There's no other way to say it.
Yep,
I
exactly.
mean, it's incredible.
It is incredible.
What
It's
that
a
woman can
miracle. A child is literally knit together in the womb by the Creator.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
100%.
So, if you can do all these things and you still don't believe, I just really encourage you to open up your mind and, go outside and see the world.
Look at it and really ponder on what the Bible says, because
Mm-hmm.
it's true. It's real. It has an answer for everything,
Go check it out.
and it's living. So it's like, for example, I read the book of Romans, right? For whatever reason, it applies then.
Yeah.
I read it again for the next reason, it applies then, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I read it 2 different times, and it applies 2 different ways.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to slice and dice it.
It's unbelievable, man. So I highly encourage you, if you do not know Jesus, please give it a chance. Just listen. Just listen to the gospel. Just read the Bible. Look at all the facts.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, well, I just believe in science. Well, where did science come from? Jesus. Came from creation.
Yeah.
It all starts with Jesus and God. It all starts at creation. Everything we do starts at creation. Period.
End of story.
End of story right there.
Well, I would just tell folks, if you can, go out. I always encourage people to travel.
Yes.
Because, your mind can only expand to what you let it see.
Yes.
And if you don't go out and see new things and, just different processes and different atmospheres and different environments, you're never going to truly know what's out there. So go out, go on that trip, get on that plane, hop in the truck and head west or east or north or south and just go.
Or just go out in your backyard. Or go to one of these national forests that's close by.
It's definitely a place to start,
Just go and sit without a phone
and
for
just go
30
have
minutes.
fun. And I would just tell people, just go travel and get outside.
Yeah. And
have fun.
take that phone and set it aside. And when you get out there in the middle of the wilderness, I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to tell me what you hear.
Yeah,
Do you hear man-made things, or do you hear creation?
exactly.
That's one of the biggest thrills for me in the hunt, is we get to hear God's creation come to life
It's fun.
every single morning.
Yeah, it's just honestly just a good time.
Yeah, man.
Spectacular.
It's a wonderful time. Look, I love Jesus with everything I got. Am I a flawed person? Absolutely. Do I make mistakes? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're always going to sin. That's the problem. Is
the way
we're
it is.
always going to be sinners. Even though we love Jesus with everything we have, we're still going to be sinners.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. That's why we needed Jesus,
Yeah.
because we're flawed people. So
There you go.
with that, man, I mean, the Montana trip was awesome. I love Jesus. Y'all need to look into Jesus if you hadn't already, but it's well worth it.
So the bottom line is, saw a bunch of cool stuff, did all the things,
And missed turkey.
and unfortunately there's no bird, but we got a plan for next spring,
Like a Bethune.
and we might just be out there this fall shooting duckaroos.
Hey, don't tempt me with a good time. I'll see you there.
Hey, I love it. But I will say before we head off of here, we do finally we have merch again.
Oh, we do.
Ben has sat down and made us a big old merch store, and we've got, I mean, there's so much stuff on there. There's women's, kids, men. There's different shirts, different logos, different stuff on the back. There, I mean, and there's cups. There was a dog bowl on there.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a dog bowl on there. What
by
you talking
golly,
about?
there's so much stuff. So hats, there's rope hats, different. There's a hat on there that my dad likes to call the old man hat. It's the kind of hat that he likes.
I call it the dad.
But hey, man, those people love them, so let's give them the option. And there's Rooted Television, Rooted Podcast stuff. There's just so much stuff on there, and we will be adding and creating new things as we go forward. But so I would just go to rootedtelevision.com, click the shop link, and it'll take you right there to the store.
It'll take you out there, and guys, buying merch from us is one of the biggest ways to help support us and what we do.
It's amazing.
That is huge for us, and we are very humble and appreciate every single purchase that leaves the warehouse.
Yes.
Thank you guys that have already bought stuff. We really genuinely appreciate it. Head over to the shop, like John said, rootedtelevision.com. Click shop, and it'll take you to our store. We have a ton of cool swag. Pick it up. Ready to go.
Support us, and obviously we're on all the social media, so find us there, and I really appreciate y'all tuning in.
With that, the Redneck's out.
See y'all.